So how long can you stay without these three important components that the body needs on an ongoing basis to survive? That is food, water, and oxygen. So there is this rule in biology we call the biological rule of threes. It applies to human beings. And that is that you can't survive for more than 3 weeks without food. And that is complete lack of food. Then you can't survive for more than 3 days without water. And you can't survive for more than 3 minutes without oxygen. Does your body become defenseless when it lacks these three critical components? The thing is, the body has a myriad of defense mechanisms. So for lack of food, your body starts by depleting the glucose that is in the bloodstream, then next moves to glycogen in the liver, modulated by a hormone called glucagon, then next moves to burning fats, and the process is called ketosis. Then finally, after it has done burning all these three components, with preference being that these three components are non-structural, so they are not going to destroy your body, it moves now to burning something that is structural. So it starts burning the proteins in your body, and the proteins will be sourced from the muscles and the organs, and that is when it leads to wasting and the depletion of your body's structural components. And finally, when it is done burning everything, you die. When you lack water, your body also tries to compensate. So it will begin that by conserving the little water that you have. And it will do so through reducing urine output using a hormone called vasopressin, which leads to low urine production. But as you produce less and less urine without consuming water, then the volume of your blood drops because there is no water coming in. Also, the thickness of your blood increases, so your blood becomes low in volume and thicker, so it becomes more difficult to move it around. So your heart has to work harder, so it increases the force with which it uses to pump blood, and also the rate, so the heart rate goes high. But eventually the volume keeps dropping more and more, to a point whereby you can't get enough pressure to your brain and you start feeling dizzy. Also, you can't get enough pressure to your kidneys and your kidneys starts failing. Also, toxins in your body starts accumulating because you are not eliminating them, because you are conserving water, and it is the water which carries the toxins out. So you go into a state of kidney failure, and if nothing is done, then it means that your time is done. So now, what about the compensatory mechanisms when you lack oxygen? So I've reserved oxygen for last because it's the most immediate emergency. So if you lack oxygen, within 3 to 4 minutes maximum, you'll not be there anymore. When you lack oxygen, your body goes immediately into panic mode. You go into a state of acidosis whereby your blood pH goes down, and this immediately notifies your brain that you are lacking oxygen, and it starts implementing compensatory mechanisms immediately. The first thing is that through reflexes, it will try to eliminate any obstructions in the airway. So this one will lead to sneezing and coughing reflexes. These ones actually happen immediately, that like in the first 10 or 20 seconds, and that is if an irritant is noticed in the airway. Then your body goes into a state of deep labored breathing. So you start having very deep and very labored breathing, and that is intended to get rid of acidosis in your blood. Your organs now start going into a state of oxygen depletion, and the first organ to notice oxygen depletion is always the brain, because the brain consumes 20% of oxygen despite it being one of the smallest organs in the body. So meaning it consumes a lot of oxygen, it is the first to suffer, and it is the one to die first. All this happens within 3 minutes. Compare that to compensatory mechanisms for lack of water, which takes 3 days to death, and that of lack of food, which takes a full 3 weeks to death. And that is why when a patient starts going into a state of respiratory distress, then the whole hospital is activated into rescue mode. You will see people running all over, even people from other departments which are not involved with the patient, to try to rescue the patient, because that 3 minutes is very precious. If CPR is not done within those 3 minutes, then the patient is at risk of death. So now you know, when you tell your girlfriend that you are my oxygen, what you really mean is that you cannot stay 3 minutes without them. Thank you.